Oh, welcome to the house, Davey.
Thank you for inviting me, mate. It's a pleasure to talk to you and everyone else that looks at this.
Yeah, sound is right. Well, I just want to start by thanking you, mate. You know what I mean? And I normally start this. We didn't do one when I knew you because you kind of cut your time. You left, and we'll come into that in a minute, shortly. So we
Yeah,
didn't get to do the first one.
yeah,
So that kind of influences how today's going to go. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So just to start with, I want to tell the viewers how I met you. So you come into the supported house, and I was in. I remember I actually did for a little while, didn't I? That's how we got to get the
yeah.
bond, like, didn't we? And then obviously, which we'll come to shortly, you ended up leaving. But the first question I want to say, so since I met you, it's been over 12 months now since that.
Yeah.
Have you stayed clean?
I've been clean all along, thank God. I was at the Mulberry. I don't know if I could say the Mulberry, if I'm allowed to say it. When I first met you, I left after 4 months. Um, I had to move away, not because I wanted to, because my dad is ill health. He had a heart attack and he had a stroke. They want me to come home and look after and be his carer. So it was a big decision for me because I lived at home for 40 years. I was put away in care when I was 13. My dad sold me away. So coming back to look after him was, I don't know, it's a bit of resentment to start with. But I thought I have to do it because he's my father, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, I moved back to London. Um, I'm a carer for him and my stepmother. They're both in hospital now 6 times between them, so 12 times in and out between them both. But I don't regret being there. I'm grateful that when I first went to the Mulberry, I done all the courses, the meetings, connected with you guys, got phone numbers. It's not been easy, mate. It really hasn't. I've just got on with it. I'm still connected. I've been clean. I've been clean now. You said 12 months. I've been clean 26 months. I know.
I know that. I'm
Nothing,
just saying that for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Are we recording?
I know
Yeah,
that, Dave. Yeah.
26 months.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
amazing. That well in, mate. Well in. And you've been.
I've come a long. I've come a long way. It's because I've got connected in the first place. Um, at the end of the
Yeah, we'll
day,
come on to
if
that
you want,
shortly. We'll come on to that. So what it was. Go on, mate.
sorry, I didn't hear you.
Go on. What are you saying, mate? Yeah, sorry.
I was
There's a
going to
bit
say,
of delay. Someone having a bit of lag. It causes trouble. So what? Yeah, what I want to start with, Davey, is just give the viewers a little 4 to 5 minutes, like story of your life from birth to where we are now. I know a bit of it, but just to share with the viewers.
but I was born in 1966, um, in London. Um, when I was 12, I had a good upbringing. My mum and dad were great. There was no violence there or anything like that. They don't drink. They don't do drugs. Um, we moved to Australia in 1973. We came back to England in 1977. My mother decided to leave my father um, because she's a Catholic. Um, I couldn't get grips with it. I came home from school. Um, she left me a note for me and my brother, my two sisters, and I just couldn't agree with it, mate. I really couldn't. I couldn't accept it. I didn't know why. My dad wasn't violent to her. So from then on, from 1980, I, I rebelled against my father. I always blamed him, and I got taken into care in the end of 1980. He signed me over to the local care authority with my brother, um, and I was there. They took me to court for no reason to get a care order till I was 18. I went to a boarding school where they call it a proof school. Um, I left there. I came out of there when I was 16. I was put into a secure unit which is it's a place called Thornbury House in Oxford. It's like a plastic house that people that got problems with attitudes and tempers. I was put in there, and I came out of there when I was 17. I went to youth custody. Well, it was Balsall then. It changed to youth custody. I went there, and from then on, I've done 40 years in and out of prison. You know,
Wow.
yeah, 40 years of my life. I'm 57, so you imagine. I first went away when I was 16. Proper prison. I went to Dartmoor when I was 21. I've done 3 years in there for a Section 18. And I came out of there and I was drinking, yeah. I used to do drugs. I used to do a lot of speed. But I was very violent in myself, didn't trust myself. And in and out of prison, I didn't look at my family because I thought my family let me down. There was never there for me. You put me away in care. You don't know me. In and out of prison all my life. I've got my head together on my last sentence, which was over 2 years ago. I got given 9 weeks for assault against my ex-partner. I got gate arrested from the prison, so I never got out. And then that's why I decided to do something to help myself. I knew I had a problem with drink. The drugs wasn't an issue, but it was drink mainly. And I had to work on myself. And that's why I went to the Mulberry and met you and everyone else there and decided I had to do something to help myself, It was getting
Yeah.
crazy, Neil. I'm 57. You imagine 57, but 40 years of my life, I've been behind the prison door. So
Wow.
coming out, it wasn't easy. It's not easy. It's not even easy now, you know. I had kneecap surgery back in August. They put me every painkiller you can think of, tramadol, methadone, the whole lot, and I stopped all that. Um,
Yeah.
but it's still a battle for me. I'm in recovery every day. You know, Tomorrow could be a different day. I never look ahead. I always say today's today and live my life. I don't book next week or say I'm going to see someone in 2 weeks' time. It doesn't work out, mate, because I'm grateful every day I wake up, and if I'm clean and sober, I just get on with it. It's not been easy for me. Cut long story short, I went to a funeral on Monday. I travelled from Slough, London, a funeral that I knew the wrong people would be there. I knew they'd be up to no good and getting drunk and whatever. And I went down there. The funeral was on a Tuesday. It broke my heart. My best mate died in the pub. The wake was in the pub. And I actually went there, so. And I came back home yesterday. My father isn't too great. I'm care for both my parents and two dogs that are here
Yeah,
on
that's
my
right.
bed. On my bed.
That's
It's
right.
not been easy, mate. But the Mulberry helped me out. They were godsend. The people. I keep connected because if I don't know, I'm not saying I would relapse, but if I ever lost my father, I can't say what can happen. I
Yeah.
can't because I don't think I'm strong enough, but I've got so much resentment that I put to one side, and I go to
Yeah.
meetings, 3 meetings a week. I've got a good sponsor, but you can't tell what's around the corner. You know.
No. And we learn that, don't we? So that's one thing that I'm thinking. Have you done the steps? Are you currently doing the steps?
Yeah, yeah.
What's it?
I've done done the 12 steps. I've got a great sponsor, but I found it hard doing step 4, step 6, and step 10. I When they say you have to um, say to someone, "Oh, listen, I'm so sorry," and be apologetic. I found that hard because I blame them. If that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
because I couldn't say to someone, if someone comes up to you and whacks you in the face, you ain't gonna go and shake the hand, are you? So
yeah,
to me, that was really hard for me. But I proved myself on Tuesday at the funeral. The people that I had resentment towards, I shook their hand and hugged them, you know.
yeah,
But when I walked away from it, it didn't really feel right, if that makes sense. Because
yeah,
I thought, "No, they're only doing it because they know that I'm going through recovery. You know, I was surrounded by alcohol, drugs, whatever, what everyone was doing in the bar. You know, I was there 3.5 hours and I walked away from it, Neil. And I came
yeah,
home the day after. And but to be honest with you, I don't want to go back to that route, the life I used to live down that route with friends. Your real friends are the ones that see you through your bad times and there to pick you up and know that where you're coming from. Not like,
yeah,
oh, let's go out and get smashed and whatever. So I've got good friends around me. You know, I've met a lot of good people in recovery. I'm grateful to the Mulberry. I'm grateful to the meetings, the people I've met. You know, that's the thing that keeps me going because I know if I don't keep that connection, I'm back in prison. You know, I've got
yeah,
my dad to think about. The resentment I've got to push to one side, and that's not easy, mate. It really ain't easy. You know,
yeah,
I've not been home for 40 years. No, my life was behind a prison door with four walls. You know, so that's the life I
yeah,
led. You know,
yeah. So I've learned loads there about you, Davey. So I just want to, there's a couple of questions that's coming to me. We'll just go through them one by one. So this
yeah,
resentment, because obviously we do the 12 steps, we identify resentment step 4, and we're supposed to see our part and process it.
yeah.
And I struggle with this. Your case seems a lot more extreme, and that's a
Not really.
judgment to make him. But like the consequences of your resentments were a lot
I,
bigger. So
I think
how'd you
I
cope with that, Davey? How'd you manage that?
I think with my resentment, right, and I'll be honest with you, now I see my dad the way he is, right here and now, on oxygen. He's on oxygen 24 hours a day. I've got pictures of him on my wall, and if I look at him now, he's suffering so much, but he never complains. So I I put that to one side and try, resent. See you back at is if you've got resentments towards someone, in the back of your mind, you think, saying, why should I help you out? Because you put me away when I was 13, you know. Um, I push that to one side, but it's not easy. Sometimes I think, if I lose my dad today, tomorrow, his health is not great. I know I'm going to lose him eventually, but I put that to one side, not only for him, but for myself to prove that, you know, you brought me into his life, and yeah, I used to be a bad person, but I'm trying to change. I'm here
Yeah,
for you. I've got a nice room here. You know, I do all the cooking in the house. I do all the cleaning, but still, when you say the word resentment, it always be back in my mind because I try and do good, but you can only do so much to show someone that yeah, I have changed. Because a leopard doesn't. They say a leopard don't change his spots. The way my dad has brought me up, and I was taken away from him when I was like 13 and a half. I thought, saying you don't want to know me, you know, and then all the years in prison, I didn't rely on him. He's never given me anything in my life. Now he's trying to. You can't make up for lost time, Neil. You really can't because what has
yeah,
happened in the past. Um, there's no way in this earth a person you can try so much to make something, put right and bury it, but you're digging it up again because he don't feel the same for he's never said to me, "Oh, I love you, son," you know. And to me, I I class myself an outcast because even all these friends, even now I meet all these friends, they say, oh, you're a nice guy, Davey, and this, that, and the other. But the thing is, I've had arguments at home here since in 2 years I've been here, and my stepmother, you know, it's a long story, but it's all about honesty. But my stepmother, me and her, we don't really get on because I think that she took me away from my dad, from that early age. So I was put in the care the same year that him. So I try and put that aside now, and I try and do the best way possible and being honest with people and tell them what I've been through. It's not. I don't brag to people. I mean, you know me as a friend that I'm quite crazy, but I just get on with it now.
Twice.
I try and be a better
Yeah,
person.
it's right, Davey. But I think,
No.
yeah, I'm just going to direct you a bit now, Davey. So another few questions. So that's pushing them descendants aside must be tough. So I don't want you to answer that. We'll come on to that. But so obviously going forward, the big question that's coming to me now. I know you do a lot of connection on the phone. I speak to you regularly. I know the guys from Blackpool area that speak to you regularly, the crew, and obviously, so they say if you don't put your recovery first, everything in your life that you love will come last. So how do you put your recovery first, or do you put your recovery first?
To be honest, yeah, because I know if I don't, then I'm going to spiral now. I'll if I don't put recovery first and take my sponsors serious, you know, we all have sponsors for a reason. You can talk to them about anything. I talk to yourself. I talk all the things people I've got in recovery. If I don't take that serious, Neil, then I'll go spiral. I'll end up back in jail. You know, we can all go behind the door and get £25 a week. You know, but I don't want to go down that route. You know,
Yeah.
a short sense would kill me. But my recovery, yes, it comes first. But when people might say, "Oh, but your family should come first," but no, my recovery comes first because I've got to look at myself and say, "Listen, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong, but I'm going to seek help and talk to someone about it." Before, I didn't talk to anyone, So it's it's not easy, but you have to concentrate on yourself. You know, we can all
Yeah.
have ups and downs, and something can go wrong in your life with family life and whatever, but you have to look at the whole picture and think, something, I'm gonna if you have a problem tomorrow, you sort it out the day after. You look at angles that you can cut around and go inside and look at the whole issue. So it's a learning process. You can't get recovery overnight. You either want it or don't want it.
Yeah.
You got rehabs, you got centres that like people like the Mulberry and JFH, whatever, that can take people in, but you have to want that. If you don't, it's like going fishing. You don't even go catch a fish, but you have to want it, in your heart, in your head. Your head can say one thing, your heart another, but you have to want it. And you got to have the right people around you. Say, listen, if you do slip out, I'm there to pick you up.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Yeah.
feel about it.
So that's good. So obviously with the step way, so the signal's terrible, mate. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yeah, you're back now. Yes. So what I'd like to say, my sponsor calls an archaeological dig with the steps. You look back at your history. So I know clearly you've done that. So that leads me to, I just want a quick answer on the first question. So as you've looked back and you've analysed yourself and your journey into addiction, just straight answer, was you born an addict or did you develop an addict in your opinion?
I think I developed because I was around the wrong people.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
I tried to
So
be
just
someone.
give an insight. Sorry, mate. Just give an insight into what you learned on your path into addiction, like first drink, unhealthy patterns and where your addiction really took off?
My addiction took off when I was 15 and a half. I thought I'd be one of the lads drinking cider, going nicking cars, doing drugs. I was doing speed at that time. I didn't care about anything. I just wanted to fit in. It's like putting a jacket on. If you don't fit, you don't wear it. But I tried to fit in and be one of the crowds, and I was like that for over 25 years. I thought I could, it's like going out, and if you rob someone, you got so much money, you buy everyone drinks, that's where I was. I was trying to be someone that I wasn't, trying to pretend to myself, trying to please everyone. It's a people pleaser, even now. I'm a lot better now because I lived my path. I'm not proud of it, but I can look at someone and say, listen, I won't disrespect you. I'll get on with you, but I can see right through them, if that makes sense. I'm not a bullshitter. I tell anyone my story. I'm not proud of it. I hurt all my family, my partners. I've hurt a lot of people, Neil. So um, I'm getting older and wiser, and I haven't got in me no more, Neil. But I've still got the madness in my head.
Yeah.
You can never lose that.
Yeah, I'm on, yeah, because that's what I mean. Obviously, the steps does so much, doesn't it? But I'm the same as you. I still have unbuilt and all. And you have this story of like, I don't know what the term is, that free. That I forget that statement from the book where you're happy, joyous, and free. It is, yeah. That's not my experience. You know what I mean?
You read the book. I mean, I read it many times. No, I've got my book over there. I can turn it around and show you. I read it every night, and some parts, I'm not knocking the book, contradicts itself. You know, I've had. I won't say who. I've had a few friends have relapsed, and they say in the book that person relapses and he come back stronger. But that's not really the case because it depends on the person and the support network they got.
Yeah.
If someone slips up and they got to be picked up again, Neil. I've not been in that position. So, but I've had a lot of friends who slipped up, and the book contradicts itself because I think personally it's a more deeper thing inside you to know that if something happens in your life, doesn't matter what it is it going to make you slip up and go back to where you used to be or be part of the circle? It all depends on your strength inside. The slightest thing, my dad could be knocked down tomorrow. How am I going to be if I lose my dad? That's a question I
Yeah.
can't tell you. I can't predict the future. I can look at the
Yeah.
past, but I've got to move forward. If something happens to one of my members of my family, will I relapse? Would I go out on a bender for one night? If I'd done that, Neil, I'm back at square one. I'll be back in prison.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why I look at it because my dad tells me every day, "Don't you dare go back to prison." He's never known me, Neil. He brought me up till I
Yeah.
was 13. He put me in care. He doesn't know me. I've fallen out of him in 2 years I've been here, and I've been
Yeah.
quite stern and telling what I think, and it all came out because the medication I'm on, because I've got bipolar, it all came out, Neil, and I don't regret saying it. When I look back, I regret saying it, you know. But
Yeah.
I just want to. I take day to day. I don't plan ahead, Neil. Every
Yeah.
day I wake up and I go that route. I
Yeah.
never.
So, Davey, so I'm just conscious of time. We're about halfway now. So I'm just going to I'm going to direct for about
Okay.
10, 20 minutes. I'm just going to give you questions. So just
Yeah.
explore them for a minute or two each one.
Yeah.
They're going to come
Cool.
quite quick. So, obviously, with the steps, do you regret your past?
Yes.
You do. How
I
do you
do.
cope with regretting your past? How do you not let it consume you?
I don't consume it because the hurt and pain I've caused people, you know, obviously, I don't know if you've been in prison or not, Neil, but when you're in prison, they make you look at everything. I've done anger management, I've done psychiatry, I've done therapy in prison. Look at the hurt that I cause people, you know. They always say that you don't admit to something you've done wrong until you're inside. But some people, when you look back at what you've done, I couldn't go up and say, I'm sorry what I put you. I can say it on the phone to them, but to see, you know, I caused so much pain and heartache to people that I love, my friends. You know, I've still got good friends behind me, you know, out of the fellowship. But it was hard, mate. I won't lie to you. Um, to say to someone, listen, I'm sorry what happened, you know, I've done my time. It's not easy because they say mud sticks, you know, you get a reputation, people want to push your buttons. And I, I put everything behind me, you know, and look positive. Say, listen, I can change, you know, give me one chance. And a lot of my friends that didn't want to know me when I was away in prison now know me. They now put
Yeah,
so much hard work in. You know, I lived in Blackpool 16 years. I'd done my recovery in Blackpool, and it wasn't easy, mate. You know, when I was at the Mulberry, the pub next door used to be my local pub, so you can
I
imagine.
remember. Yeah, I
Uh,
remember that.
you know, so I had all that to battle against, and I've come shining through. You know, I've done. I moved away. I mean, if I wasn't here with my dad and my stepmom, I'd probably still be in Blackpool. I went to
Yeah,
Mulberry. I went to Mulberry the other day on Tuesday morning to visit them. You know, and I said they want me to give me a share then for me to give a share to say to people, listen, it's not easy moving out of here because you've got nothing to pay for. You know, you have to
yeah.
read that recovery means recovery. If you don't connect with people, you know, I'm still in touch with you and quite a few other people if I can get hold of you, and and just you know, even 5 minutes phone call with someone to
Yeah,
know that you know I'm there for them. You know,
yeah.
so
Good.
that's
Go
right.
on then, David. So that's another question I want to ask you now. Do you fear relapse or going back to prison?
I fear both. If I lost
Yeah,
my father, if I lost my dad,
yeah,
how which way would it turn me? But for
yeah,
myself, right here and now, I'm grateful to be sober and clean. I'm here for my dad and my stepmom. But that question you just asked me, I can't go 6 months down the line saying, "Oh yes, it's everything be hunky dory." You know,
yeah,
when it comes to grief, Neil, if you lose a, a family member, you don't know how that's going to react in yourself.
yeah.
You know, you could go back to the wrong friends. I, to be honest with you, and I'm being honest totally all the way through this. I can't say to you, would I relapse? Because then I'm not
Yeah,
honest. You know, I can't say
yeah, yeah,
6 months down the line, if I lost my dad,
yeah,
I've got my brother behind me. You know, he knows that I've done come so far. I've got my stepmother, even though I've got resentments towards her because she don't do enough for my dad, and I won't go down that route. But I'm still here. I've been here 2 years now. Yeah, I'd miss my dad, but I was told that before I left Blackpool by certain members of staff at Mulberry. If you lost your dad, you got to accept that, and we're here for you. But I'm in
yeah,
contact with everyone in fellowship from Blackpool
yeah,
every single day. I phone them all up and do the reds in.
yeah. Well, yeah, you connect with the phone, don't you? And I just want to. So, what does Davey do for Davey? Like, what do you do to relax, mate?
I walk the dogs. I do a lot of reading. I write poetry. I go for long walks, but I mainly focus. I talk a lot with my sponsor. I read a big book all the time, but sometimes I don't read it every single day because some parts of that book contradicts itself. You know, about relapses, this, that, and the other. But I do read it. Um, you know, I do 3 live meetings a week and 2 Zooms. I prefer live meetings. I've got a good sponsor, but I try and relax. I used to play bingo, but I do a lot of poetry. So
Yeah,
it's like when you're caring for both parents, it's so constant. It's like 24-hour care. You know,
yeah,
like my dad downstairs, he's on oxygen. I got my stepmother upstairs. You know, she has seizures. So it's like I'm flicking between two. The only time I get my head down to myself is about 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then my dad gets
yeah,
up at 3 o'clock because he can't breathe properly. And then I have to
yeah.
go downstairs and put the machine on for him. So it's not easy. I try and relax, you know. I should have gone to meetings tonight, but I promise you I'll do this. And I
That's
wanted,
right, Davey.
even though my dad was quite bad earlier on, but if I can help one person, though, you know, I've been wore the t-shirt, you know.
Yeah,
I've got a prison record that you had to get 6 bags to hold it. You know,
yeah.
I've done like what 18 prisons in the country. You know, I went to Dartmoor when I was 21. I've done a 5 year stretch in there, and I was the youngest guy in there. So I
Wow.
surrounded by lifers. I've done your Liverpool, I've done Manchester, Strangeways when the riots were on. I've been everywhere, mate. Even my dad says he used to be a coach for I've done everywhere in England and even Scotland, Bellini, Porterfield, and Inverness. I've been all over, mate. So
Wow, mate. So,
you just,
Davey, again, just conscious of time, mate.
well,
So, just explain to me, because I'm intrigued, a question that's coming up for me now. What was it like feeding it to an addiction in these institutions? Obviously, you knew no difference. Was it a daily use? Did it progress? Did it get worse? Was
no,
it
no.
unmanageable to death?
I'm glad you asked that question because every time I used to go inside, it didn't bother me, Neil. Obviously, you can get what they call ooch in prison, and you get drugs in prison. They got more drugs in prison than ooch. You can make your own alcohol drink in there. But I never ever went on a detox ring ever in 37 years. 2.5 years ago, when I was in Lancaster Farms, I went on a detox wing, and I had a support worker called Adrian, um, who worked for an they call it empowerment, but it's outside empowerment, and they call it Spectrum. And I worked with him because of COVID. He come and saw me in my cell. I said, "Listen, you need to sort yourself out." They said, "What is your problem?" I said, "Well, alcohol." I said, "But you do all right in here." I didn't go to a detox wing. And he said, "Why don't you look into the mulberry?" And I said to him, "Look, I'm on the phone." No, I'll let her out in a bit. Sorry, my stepmom. I've got the dogs in here. So they said to me, "Why don't you go to the mulberry?" I said, "Well, I knew Laura. She's my key worker in Preston, in prison." I thought, you know, saying, I, I'm going to go there and try it out. But I done it off my own back. When I got released from prison, it wasn't on my license. So I done it off my own back, not through probation. I referred myself there, and a certain person gave me an interview on the Monday on the telephone, and they accepted me on the Friday. So I've done it for
Yeah,
myself. So, yeah, it's not.
yeah, Davey. That's right. Yeah, sounds so. So I just want to get it lighten up a bit because you make me have a laugh, Dave. That's one thing we do. You make me laugh. You know what I mean? You've got mates all over the place. So you're a really likable character. But I just want to give you the hypothetical question now. So
Yeah,
fast forward 2 years. You're staying connected on the phone. You stay clean. Your dad's either stable or he may have passed, but you've got through it. So it's another. What's in store? What's a good? What's the best day we can hope for? I know we stay in and keep it in the day and all that, keeper. But
I
what?
want to do, well, I'm hoping to go to college in September
Yeah.
do psychology. I want to help other people, Neil. And I used to work in a charity shop down here, but then I got arrested for a certain matter in Blackpool. They come down to my dad's house, like 6 police cars and 2 riot vans to come and nick me when I was living at my dad's. And I was working in a charity shop called Scope. And I loved that shop, Neil. I was working 6 days a week, working with vulnerable people. I enjoyed it because the police went to my shop. I had to leave the work. But I'm still
Yeah.
I do a lot of part-time work now. I work with the homeless people, but between my dad and my stepmom, it's quite hard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said a couple of years on, where you're no longer, you've got
But,
more free time and more choice to do what you want. Know what I mean?
I feel let one of my dogs
Because I
out.
understand.
One
Yeah,
sec.
all right, miss.
Yeah, it's Misty. Right, Dad. Sorry, I've let one of my dogs out. I've got 2 dogs in here and one going for next door.
Yeah, no worries, miss. Sound, yeah, so like that. So yeah, let me think what I want to talk about now. So I just want to lighten up. So tell us some. I just want to lighten up. I want to get some of your character on screen. You know what I mean? So
Right.
obviously Blackpool's frigging nuts, isn't it? I reckon you fitted right in there. But
I was
yeah,
there 6.
what's it like in that party town?
Right, Blackpool.
Tell us what it's like in the party town, all the chaos which you fitted right in, and then recovering in that same area.
Well, I'm a bit, I'm a bit crazy, Neil. I have been all the time. You know, when I came from London, I was born in London. I lived in Belfast for a long time, a place called Ardoyne. When I moved back to Blackpool, I was in Blackpool 16 years, but I was always going out fighting and doing drugs and mainly speed and alcohol. You know, I could drink myself sober. You know, it's the bar going to. They wouldn't let me in there. The doorman wouldn't let me in. I was either fighting inside or fighting outside. So I'm glad to be away from that madness because going back there Monday for a funeral, it it wasn't easy, because all the doormen I knew in the town, when they saw me dressed in black and white and all suited up, and they 2 of them actually come up and said, "Listen, I like the person you are now, because before you was a effing nutcase." But no, but I'm glad to be away from there now because I'm at home now. Because it's like being a beehive. I'm in my safe haven now. You know, I can walk down
Yeah,
the
man.
road. I'm not in the madness because I don't miss the madness. I really don't.
Yeah,
Being around it all my friends. I've got some nutty friends. In Blackpool and St Anne, they're from St Anne's, from Niven, and from Preston, and I know some nutty people. But when they all saw me, well, in fact, a couple of them said that I've gone soft-headed. But I said no, I'm not down that route. And I was at the wake for 3 hours, surrounded by people doing certain things, and I went back, to the place and come home the day after. I'll go home yesterday, so I don't miss the place. I don't miss being the way I used to be. I used to hate myself, you know. I hurt a lot of people now, but to trying to
yeah,
make amends, you have to be honest to yourself, and some people obviously won't accept that I've changed. They think I can't change, but I proved a lot of people wrong, Neil. You know.
yeah. That's good, Davey, and I like that. And again, that's elements of you have a defiance about you that you do, and you don't recover in the we never none of us recover the same, but yours is kind of like There's obviously all that built resentment that's not fully gone, but yet you stay clean. You've got all this responsibility that you can't put yourself first wholeheartedly, but yet you stay clean. You know what I mean? And that's commendable, that Davey.
I'd always be in recovery, Neil. You can't wash that away.
Yeah.
It's not like washing your hands. You know, I'd always be in recovery as long as I'm breathing and living. You know, because
Yeah.
anything can happen today, tomorrow, next week, month, year. You know, so you have to be honest with yourself
Yeah.
and grab both hands and think, do I want this life or do I want the other life that I used to lead?
Yeah.
You go down the route, then you could be dead. I've lost a lot of
Yeah.
friends. I lost a lot of friends, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's one question I want to ask Davey, because obviously the 12 steps is based in a higher power. Have you got a connection with a higher power, and do you call upon that on a daily basis?
Higher power wise, when I first went to done the meetings where people talk the God thing, he used to throw me off now. I won't lie to you, he used to throw me off. I thought, my God, what is this, a cult? But no, I my higher power, the way I look at it, your higher power can be anything though. I look at my higher power as the people that I could hurt, you know, like my dad, my stepmom, my brother, people I'm really close to. I know I wouldn't say that I do believe in God, don't get me wrong, but my higher power is I pray every night. I do my gratitude list, you know. I believe in myself, so if I can believe in myself, then I can prove this. If I go to sleep tonight, I will in an hour's time, and wake up in the morning, grab a coffee, a cigarette, and then do my gratitude list. I woke up breathing now. I woke up clean and sober, without looking above and saying,
Yeah.
a God thing. You know, we've all got your higher power could be anything. You know, it could be a dog, it could be a cat. You know, but I don't go that deep into it. I do meditation every day. That's 7 days a week. I do that. I read the big book 3, 4 times a week. But I just tend to live my life the way I want to live it. As long as I wake up clean and sober, I'm happy. You know?
Successful, yeah. And again, a healthy routine. That's what I might identify. I have a routine that I'm
Yeah.
kind of still developing and nurturing, but a healthy routine. Yeah, is right, Davey. So go on. I'm going to have a bit of a giggle now. So I didn't realize it was only 4 months. I actually knew you did. I lived here for about 2 months, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, I moved in your house because I had sort
I
of
didn't
fallout.
realize it was such a short time.
Well, I known you 2 months because, as you know, I was in a certain house, and I chose to leave that house because me and a certain person didn't get on. So
Yeah,
I moved in your house, and it's the best move I ever made, Neil, because I felt sorry for my certain support worker because I offered to move out of there to diffuse the situation because it was weird because they knew what I was like. They got my records, etc. And I said, I tell you what, I'm going to move out. And moved in your house with a couple of other people that are
yeah,
on. So that's what I did. And it's the best move I've ever made, mate. To be honest with you. But I do
yeah,
miss the people. I really do. You know, and I kept
yeah. Davey,
leaving
we've
that.
got about 5 minutes, mate. We've got
Well,
about 5 minutes. So what I'm going to get, but this is a bit risky. Yeah. So obviously we had some laughs, Davey. You know what I mean? We did have some giggles, mate. That's how we connected. That's why we've stayed in touch, because we do laugh. Crocodile scam and that, for instance. But what's the funny? You can remember this is for like this. This is a gift from my daughter. This channel. So gloves are off. You can talk about anything. What's the funniest story about me? You can say in them 2 months. The very funniest one. You can say whatever you want. No holds barred.
are you sure about this? The best story. Can you
Go
hear me?
on, do it.
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yeah.
The best story I ever had, Neil.
I can hear you. Yeah.
I went to a certain recovery place for a meeting down in a certain area, and you turned up there, and all your mates were there, and you decided to do one. It made me look stupid. I've gone back to Blackpool. I said, "Oh, was Neil there?" I said, "Yeah, he was there, but he's gone to his mates." You went missing like for 2 or 3 days. And that's not the only thing. And the other time, you disappeared, and you told me that you relapsed, and I was the only person you told because you were staying with a certain girl in the house, and you got grassed up that she was staying there for one night. But you were so honest with me that you said you was going to tell a certain place that you relapsed, and being honest, but you've always been honest, Neil. But the best time is when we went to that convention and you went missing
Yeah.
for 3. That's the only bad thing, funny thing I can say about you. Because to be honest with you, you was never there, Neil. You was always like bring lady friends around or whatever.
Not no more. I'm firmly driving the single bus these days, mate. Liberating.
I haven't got a bad word to say about you. The funny moments was that meeting we went to in a certain area, but I've always got on with you.
Yeah.
You're a funny guy. If I can get hold of you on the phone, then you phone me up, and but you have to. I've learned to keep connected with people. You have
Yeah,
to.
that's one thing no one can say, Davey. You don't stay connected, mate. No matter distance is no object. You put the effort in, Dave.
It don't matter where you are, right?
Yeah.
You keep that connection with someone that you can relate to. You imagine me and you went to. Imagine 16 years ago, we went out to the town. You was doing your drugs and whatever, your coke or whatever, and I was doing a drink and was going out partying, going mad. We'd be two different people, but
Yeah.
we get connected. But now, you've been through, what I've been through. I've been through what you've been through. I've done the years behind a prison door. You've probably been lucky enough because you're from Liverpool. You get away with it. you know, it's I don't know, but we're on the same path. If that makes sense.
Yeah, we're united in recovery, mate.
Yeah, on that one path. If you go off that path, mate, left or right, as long as you keep straight in that path and keep connected, it don't matter if you're tempted to take a drug or a drink or pick up or do something, that will hurt you or other people. If you keep on that path and don't come off it, but call someone if you're thinking you're going to go off the route, don't matter what time of day it is, my phone's always on. If you call that one person, that can keep you going on that straight path, and it's done you a favour, You're frozen.
Yeah, the signal's not great, mate. I think it's both ends.
No, I'm saying keep on that path, Neil. Never.
Yeah, 100%, David. I've got a new spin. So, Davey, I'm just conscious of time, mate. That's been a brilliant interview, that. I've loved it. I just hope it's recorded okay, and we've got all your message. That was a brilliant message, that, Davey. So, it was right, mate. I want to thank you very much. By the way, I just wanted to add on camera. I'm dead busy. I'm chocker these days. All my mates have the issues of getting hold of me, but I know but we can always get round to it when I get a minute. But yeah, I just want to thank you so much, Davey. It's right, mate.
But if I can help someone out there, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. People who've got similar experience to you, mate, I'm sure you will. We can stay clean because it's the alternative so much worse, mate. It's right.
The alternative is the consequences, Your consequences that if you turn away.
Yeah, I've got a new spin on this recovery, like David. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's right, Davey. What I want to say. Yeah, we're breaking up, mate, again. I want to thank you so much, Davey. I'll get it uploaded and I'll send you a message. I'll give you the ring in about half an hour.
Nice one, mate. Thank you so much. And I hope someone gets a grip with this. It's all real.
Yeah.
We're not copyrights. If you think we're copyrights, come to London.
If you go viral, Davey, I'll give you a couple of quid.
Oh God, viral. Lovers, haters out there. If you love us or hate us, then don't matter. Just give your views.
That's right, Davey.
We live the life that we
All right,
live.
nice one, mate.
God bless, mate. Thank you so much.
And you, mate. See you later.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye.
Yeah.